You know, boxing world, hardcore fans, we all saw what happened at the Palladium, or not the Palladium, excuse me, Radio City Hall for Canelo's press conference with His Excellency pushing away the WBC belt, and then the announcement following with Dana. So I had to ask you, because Eddie, you're one of the most well-known promoters. I mean, you're the face of the promoters. Eddie's the face of the promoters of the boxers, right? You're out there a lot. Do you feel slighted by His Excellency putting Dana White on such a high pedestal of somebody who has zero experience in a successful boxing promotion?
Honestly, and this is just speaking just from the heart, couldn't give a shit. And you know, I had a conversation with His Excellency the other day, and we were laughing about the fact that I couldn't care less. Like, I'm so chilled. You know, some people kind of, boxing's really weird, right? It's a really weird
yeah, it is.
Where it's like, you follow people. I was like, you know, Lou DiBella, good friend, right? We don't always see eye to eye. He's on this thing the other day. He's, see you guys now. You're just a middleman. It's like, bro, what are you worried about? Like, see me. I don't care if I'm a front, back, middle, whatever man it is. All I care about is the business, the fighters, making money, hitting targets, growing my company, floating on the stock market, and enjoying the ride of boxing. That's it. And however that comes, if you believe in yourself, you don't worry. It's a real toxic trait to be thinking about what effect it might be on others and like, it's just that's real bad. That's a bad attribute in life. For me, I look at it like this. If we carry on with Riyadh season and Ring Magazine, which I'm certain we are going to, great. If we work with Dana and TKO, great. If Dana wants to take on other promoters and wants a fight, great. I'm up for that. It's all great. Because it's just life. It's just every day. It's a new challenge. And whatever way we go, we're ready. We're the best at what we do. And we're up for the challenge, however that might come. So, you know, people say, oh, do you really think it's good that Dana's getting into boxing? Yes. How can you possibly not think it's good that Dana White's getting into boxing? Of course it is. Now, is the league going to be good? Is it going to be a success? I have my own opinions on what the league might look like, because I think the perception is it's going to be AJ, Fury, Gervonta. No, I don't think so. I think they're going to be building talent and existing fighters and getting those people under control to do whatever they're instructed to do. Boxing don't work like that, right? Boxing is the worst business in the world. And I hope these guys have got the appetite to be up all fucking night and sleep with one eye open every single day. Because you're not going to get control where you can go to bed at 10 o'clock in the morning and wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning and expect the industry and your situation to be exactly the same. Because it don't work like that. Every fucker is out there hustling every single day. Guess what? I'm one of them and all. So if you're coming, I hope you're ready. And we want to welcome you because, you know, there's room for everybody. And I think this is a positive thing for the sport.
Gotcha. Do you think sanctioning bodies are an important part of boxing?
Yep.
And they should remain?
Yep. I've had, I've had multiple conversations in the past with, major companies, investors. Right, is there a roll-up of boxing? What you do is you just buy all the companies and you just create one belt, one champ. No, you're never going to put people out of business in boxing. And you have to understand, fighters care about belts. Fighters care about legacy. People said to me before, what about if you created a Matchroom belt? Listen, as much as I love my company and I think Matchroom is, the greatest thing ever, I'm not stupid enough to think that a fighter would sacrifice fighting for a WBC championship or a Ring Magazine championship to fight for a Matchroom belt. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They have seen their heroes walk before them in iconic moments, photos, videos of the green and gold belt, of the Ring Magazine belt, right? And they want that belt. Belts matter to them. Now, which belt is the most important? I like all the governing bodies. I also am a big believer that the Ring Magazine belt, long before His Excellency got involved, is the coup de grace of boxing that tells you who is the number one fighter in the division on an independent basis. Mm-hmm. No sanction fees. Just a panel of very bright boxing people judging who is the best. And I think that's massive for the sport. But don't think that the governing bodies are just going to walk away and evaporate into existence. They are organisations built on decades of heritage and history. And, you know, fighters care.
Just last questions around this whole thing, and I appreciate your time. Have you shared those thoughts with His Excellency? Like, you know, because it seems like he's not in line with that as far as
I don't know.
the sanctioning bodies.
His Excellency, no, I disagree. I think, look, His Excellency obviously has the Ring Magazine belt. He's very passionate about that belt. For me, and I said this long before His Excellency got involved with the Ring Magazine belt, that is the belt. That is the belt that tells you who is the number one in the division.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that has the WBO, someone that has the WBC, that is not necessarily the number one in the division. But that's okay. My worry with one belt is that fighters who are really good might not get the opportunity to fight for it, because we all know what happens in boxing. People are blocked. People don't, you know, the trainer don't like the style and this and that, and he don't like him. What I like about the 4 championship belts is that fighters will get the opportunity to become world champion. If it's just one, how does that system work where you, as a great fighter, are guaranteed a shot at the champion? I don't think it's through a league that takes quarterfinals, semi-finals. I don't know. Like, for me, I quite like all the belts.
Mm-hmm.
But I also like to know who is the best. Do you know what I mean? I don't believe that the league is necessarily built on telling you who the best in boxing is. Necessarily. I might be wrong. I've absolutely no idea. In terms of the fighters they're recruiting, which I know, it's, you know, that's not the aim. But I don't necessarily think TKO is it's a great company, a smart business. These guys are smart. They want control. They don't want to be dealing with a manager and a lawyer paying, you know, dozens of millions for a fight that puts you at financial risk. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Boxing is a wild game, and it's a wild business. And not only do they need to do something in the sport, they can't operate, in my opinion, they won't want to operate in a standard boxing world. So they have to try and take an ownership and get hold of it and build it in a way that makes sense for their business.
Got it. Last question, and you might not have the answer, but I'm just curious.
I've always got the answer.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I hope you do, because this is interesting. I think it's a good question, at least. You know, when I envision, and who am I? I just, you know, cover the fights, ask the questions. But when I envision, like, okay, what could His Excellency be doing in boxing? I envisioned months ago, maybe he's going to get all the promoters to work together, and then we'll have like some sort of overarching organization where the promoters, fighters, you know, they fight, they get into the ring with one another. And it seems like that was happening, but then it seems like he's deviating. Here's the question. Do you have any idea what His Excellency's overall plan is?
Yeah, I think he has a plan to change boxing forever. You know, I think that, in a way, I see a lot of similarities between me and him. In the sense of, we don't care how you get there. You've just got to get there. And as long as you understand that relationship, you can never be offended. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, when he wants something, when he wants me, one of my fighters, or he wants me to do something, he calls me. And I do it, and I get the gig. When he wants something else, he calls someone else. But you have to look at the consistency of the man has never changed, right? He's never gone with one promoter. He's never got a promoter to build a card on his own without dealing with anyone else. He works with everyone. He got approached about a project by Dana White, TKO, Nick Hearn, and he went, I like this project. We're going to get involved. That's it. He also runs Riyadh season events. He also runs now Ring Magazine events. So, you know, I think that as long as you know where you stand, you can never be offended. So, like he said, you know, we talk all the time, and he's like, yeah, I think he just understands that I don't get emotional. When we've got something for him, we're going to work with him. When someone else has got something for him, they're going to work with him. And the key is to stay in the mix, do what's right for your business. But I like the experience, you know, and we have a lot of banter. Like, listen, he'll film me when I'm with him and he'll say, Eddie is finished. Stick to snooker and darts, you know what I mean? So we take the piss out of each other all the time. And it's an enjoyable environment. And if he wants to do something with Dana White, great. And then we might do something together. We might never do something together. But if we stop working with His Excellency tomorrow, the same what I said to you earlier, I would go, well, that was so much fun. Thank you so much. We had a great run. We made money. Our fighter's got an incredible opportunity. I wish you the best of luck. But I would like to work with His Excellency for a long time. I believe he knows the quality that we bring. I believe he knows how we operate our business. But it all comes down to what he wants at the time to make sure he can hit his vision, his targets, his strategy. He's very, very driven and determined about what he wants and the vision that he has for the sport. And if you've got something that can help that, come on.